congratulations from the ocean and recognize the fragility of our shared marine environment. Maine fishermen understand and support the need to develop clean, renewable energy sources, but we do not share the governor's vision to achieve this through a rush offshore wind development in the Gulf of Maine.
And the Gulf of Maine has been providing, again, a way of life, a good life for communities and families for hundreds of years. And I think fishermen want to protect the ocean more than anybody. And that's why we're saying no to industrializing the Gulf of Maine. It's too fragile to gamble with this when there's other ways to attack climate change. Fishermen aren't saying climate change isn't important. We're saying you can tackle climate change 1,000 different ways or 1,000,000 different ways without industrializing the Gulf of Maine and potentially ruining the Gulf of Maine.
The state of Maine is currently pursuing plans to build floating offshore wind platforms 20 to 40 miles off the coast, which will house massive industrial scale wind turbines.
That's exactly where I fished all winter with my cousin.
The first proposed site is 16 square miles, comprised of 12 wind turbines standing 600 feet tall, 380 feet in diameter, and anchored to the seafloor by dozens of chains, each being 10 feet wide and nearly 800 feet long. Thousands of miles of cabling will stretch along the seafloor and connect from the wind turbines to the mid-sea converter substations, and then onto mainland transformers to deliver some of the most expensive energy available into our grid. Proponents argue that wind turbines will supply residents of New England with the clean energy of the future. Maine's fishermen, however, say that while sustainable energy is important, these wind turbines will actually create more harm than good to the ocean's ecosystem and the next generation of Mainers along our coast.
Fishermen are absolutely stewards of the ocean. You could almost think about them as like guards out in the Gulf of Maine, keeping an eye on things. Fishermen were environmentalists before being an environmentalist was cool. They're the original conservationists. They just never had to have a label on it. They did it because it was the right thing to do, not because it's the cool thing to do.
My father, he knows the environment better than anybody. I mean, he sees firsthand, like, everything out there, like how the lobsters migrate, what fish are out there and everything. I trust fishermen like my father because he sees everything out there on a regular basis, day in and day out, and they know what's out there and other people don't.
We've got the most valuable fishery in the continental U.S. Here in the Gulf of Maine. We have got more jobs in this fishery that we've maintained to keep sustainable than any other, jobs on the boat than any other fishery in the continental U.S. And we've done a really good job with this resource that we harvest out of the Gulf of Maine. To do what I consider to be an experiment with floating wind turbines, nothing against alternative energy, but to do an experiment in the Gulf of Maine with a floating wind turbine that's going to affect this place or otherwise endanger the income of coastal Mainers, I have a big problem with. I am an environmentalist and have been before the word was even coined, because I need a healthy bay to make a living. And I've made a career and a living out of fishing in the state of Maine, and it's due to the conservation and the environmental aspects that the fishing industry started, basically. The Gulf of Maine is recognized as one of the most productive sea-growing areas in the world. Anything. From aquaculture to fish to scallops, whatever it is, it's a very productive area, and it's so recognized. And to be putting these alien structures in here, interfering with the passage of the whales and in the fish, it will interfere with the fish too. I just don't think we need it here. environment's an important thing to us. It's what we depend on to survive, so we've always been stewards of the environment. We're going to continue to behave that way. And it's not to say we're not in favor of green energy or fighting climate change, but it just doesn't feel like this is necessarily the best option to take at this point. There's a lot of things we can do on the land where we have a lot more control. Part of our understanding is being a sea, you don't control everything all the time at that point. And so it just feels like there's a lot of margin for error that could happen at this point.
Offshore wind in the Gulf of Maine, it poses a gigantic threat to marine resources, to our communities, and to the future of what makes Maine so uniquely special. And Maine has everything to lose and nothing to gain when it comes to offshore wind development. We're extremely concerned about what our future looks like, and we want to make sure that the fishing communities are a part of that future. Right now, that's all at risk.
Yeah, to industrialize the Gulf of Maine, to put down wind turbines or oil rigs or anything to interfere with these migratory routes of fish is a bad idea. And I would hate to see over all these years, all the work that the fishermen have done and the government has done in trying to restore these fish, have them all disappear because we want to produce electricity for Southern New England. But the ecosystem out here is fragile. It doesn't, believe me, it doesn't take anything to change it. And that I've witnessed in my 57-odd years of being a fisherman. We've got something that's worth way more than producing electricity for Southern New England. We've got something that will feed generations to come. So don't put it here in the Gulf of Maine.
The Gulf of Maine is home for many different ecosystems. It's home for many different marine animals. It's more than just lobster fishing. It's an entire world out there. This so-called green energy doesn't benefit it at all. It's all about commercializing what we have out there, and the money behind it has nothing to do with fighting climate change.
If you want a healthy ocean in the future, a healthy Gulf of Maine or an Atlantic Ocean or a Pacific Ocean, the best thing you could do is listen to the people that get to experience it and love it every single day, and that is the fishermen, both in Maine and in the United States. You should listen to what they have to say about the water and the species that live there, and the things that they think that we should be doing to protect them and make sure we have a healthy Gulf of Maine in the future.
And why do people always have to seek and destroy every last thing that the world provides for us? Industrializing the Gulf of Maine is a no-win situation, not for just the fishermen, for everybody who's a stakeholder in the United States. It's just not.
We ask that you stand with